Good morning.
Hello, 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 everybody. And our verse of the day is Psalms 118. The Lord has done it this very day. Let us rejoice today and be glad. And this is a actually song that they sing sometimes. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And it's another day that we get, and it's a happy day. So we thank God for that. We have this new thing in the back office. So spiritual anchoring, we're always going to do a daily Bible verse. Talk about the breathing exercises that I want everybody to do. It helps you with lowering your stress and being calm and taking away your emotions when you're trading. And we're always drinking water. Your brain is over 70% water, so you have to hydrate that. And I want you guys to look into these brain movements to cross over your brain so you're using both of your sides of your brain at the same time. We went over smell last week. I usually have candles or something burning, or I like anointing oil too. But today we're going to talk about sight. And this is in the back office too. But sight, create a visual sanctuary. So what you see influences how you feel and think. You know, in your house, your room that you're going to be trading in, or even if you're trading in the living room or you trade in the garage or wherever you're at, the kitchen. Just make sure that it makes you feel good. You always want to have this feeling of joy and happiness and peace when you're trading. So, one thing you could do is eliminate clutter. Sometimes when you see clutter, it's like you haven't been taking your time to clean out the clutter. Use soft, neutral tones. They inspire confidence. Navy blues, forest green. Display screens at eye level for comfort. So sometimes when people are trading, they have their phone way down. You know, it's better for me to trade, on my computer. When I'm trading on my phone, it's like I'm out and about or I'm putting in a quick trade. I'm not really looking at my phone. I don't have enough uh screen to look at the phone on trading view and on different things. I might look for a second just to see what's going on, but I'm not going to get a full visual. So you kind of want to be trading on a tablet or your computer. You know, things that you should have is like a vision board, maybe where you're at. If you have your own office, have a vision board in there, progress charts, have like a journal where you're writing down your stuff, or always, look at your trades. I love to look at my trades and see where I'm at with different things. And then, have enough light in the room. You don't want to be sitting in the room. Sometimes we're trading early in San Diego time, but I always have like the window cracked or a sliding glass door, bringing in light, maybe a light going on in another room, because I don't really like super bright lights right by me while I'm trading. And then another thing you could do is you could switch the light that you do have and turn it to different colors and stuff. You could buy that at uh, Home Depot or stuff like that. Very, very simple. So this is something that's in the back office now. Yeah, I just want you guys to know your holistic approach. And it's kind of like you're going to be doing a ritual, not in the sense of meaning that you're going to want to do the same thing every time you're trading. To keep the trading feeling good. You want to start feeling good about trading. You want to be winning, money, and it's a good feeling when you're winning, and then you're like, man, I did the same thing yesterday. I did the same thing the day before. I did that, and so that's what you really want to set your goals on. Set your goals on that. All right. Let's get right on this. Get this going. And here we go. We're on the news. So make sure you refresh it. It says the 26th on here. That's not the day we're on. And I just refreshed and it stayed on that day. Let's see. So we're on the first of the month. It's the first of the month. Canada has a bank holiday, which isn't gonna really affect us too much. See if there's anything really else. The Fed chair is gonna speak at 6:30. Man, I never really seen that. He's gonna speak at the opening bell. That's pretty weird. Due to participate in the panel discussion titled Policy Panel at the Forum on Central Banking in Sintra. Audience questions expected. Wow. That's pretty weird. Let's see if we see any news. JOLT Jobs. There's a lot of news. There's a lot of news today. A lot of news today. Wow. But it's not even really talking about it. Something's wrong because it's not showing the scanners or the current news. So let's switch, try to go back. Maybe something was there. It is. All right, now we got the scanners at the top. Now we got the news at the bottom. Okay, good. All right, let's see. Trump threatens Japan with new tariffs. Okay. It won't buy American rice. Huh? I'm trying to read if there's anything on. Let's see here. Those stories related to this right here. I don't really. There's no stories on the news events. Usually they're right here. There's no major stories. So that is very, very weird. All right, USD is losing to the euro, is beating GBP. JPY was beating it really bad, and now it's coming back. We can see it going back up. JPY is really strong right now. It's winning versus everybody. Its biggest win is versus GBP. And it did take like a bounce up right here. GBP did. There's a resistance right there. GBP JPY looks like a good trade. Let's look at the currency strength meters. GBP JPY. On that one, USD was a better one. But here we go. Yeah, what we see is GBP is the worst. JPY is the strongest. GBP JPY. Okay, and it did just do a bounce up, and then it goes straight back down. That's in the hour. So we got a sell at the 30 minutes. GBPJPY. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. GBPJPY to sell. Got a couple, so we got a 15-minute sell on here too. All right. US 30 looks like it's very consolidated. And did I clean the board? It's at an all new high right now. $44,000 level. We were trading at a 42 and 43,000 level. We can see that for the last hours, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For about 11 hours, it's been consolidated, shooting doji after doji. So what did we expect to happen? The same exact thing that's doing right now. We did get a kind of big candle at 5 and 5:30. And it's a very, very tight, very tight. And it's almost down here, but since these two candles like really went down further, we kind of don't want to get it right here right now. We like to get it, maybe by the Bollinger Bands. Gold is going straight up. And it's beautiful because it just hit the EMA. It looks like it was breathing. Up, up. It's very hard because this been going up for 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. It's been going up for a whole day. And then it takes this red candle. And there's kind of a resistance right here, but that was back on last Wednesday. But it's kind of scary because, it's been going up like really fast. And it went up. How much did it go up? It went up $70 right here. And now it just went down $8. I don't know if it's going to keep on going down. Maybe it needs to breathe more because, this thing been going straight up. I do like this to continue going up right here. I wonder if we missed the bell because something going straight up like this, the bell might bring it down and then go up. It's kind of risky to trade it right now. So I'm gonna see if it can go down about $10 more, and then I want to take this up for the day, but not right now though. Let me see. It's probably super overbought. Yeah, it's dumping down right here. The hour is super overbought. The 4 hours is super overbought. Yeah, this is dangerous trade to buy overbought. But on the day, you see this underbought oversold. So it's like it's gonna go up for the day. Well, why we can't watch that or see something about that news? Frustrating. I really like this trade right here. I like gold. And then if we look on the day, it's only been going up for 2 days. And it was going down for a while. It's a good trade to take. The Nas is really high. Wow. Plus 30 is pretty high right now. Okay. This is back in January. It was way higher before our economy just tanked. It's trying to reach back up. This must have been, oh, let me see. Well, yeah, that was November. And then it tanked. Tanked again. We got way too much stuff here. I'm just gonna erase all this stuff. It was just overwhelming. Let's go back and put the new ones in here. And I even put the wrong colors which way. All right. So now this is where we kind of wanted to get it at. It's way down here. I would actually like to grab this. Thinking that it might keep on coming down. Let's see. I'm gonna grab this. I'm not gonna take a heavy trade here. I'm gonna buy US 30. To where we wanted at. So let's see if it does this pullback. I'm thinking it's gonna do. It might pull back before even the opening bell, hopefully. All right. Let's go to the heat map, heat map, heat map. So gold was up last week. Remember this or yesterday, gold was up, Amazon was down. What's gold now? Our Apple is 3 trillion, 3 trillion, 3 trillion. Wow. Amazon's only 2.3. So Microsoft is the biggest. No. Nvidia took over. Nvidia's just been going straight up. Wow. $3.8 trillion company. It's the biggest company in the world right now. That's amazing. Let's see what we got going on with the 100. Google was down. It's kind of like a mixed up market, but it's been going up. We can see a lot of green here on the little guys. Which time do we got? We're at that. All right. So we're on US 30 and we're also on GBPJPY. And yeah, here it goes. That gold is bouncing up already, but I just want to test it and see what's going to happen on the opening bell for gold because this might go down to here or down halfway. And I like to buy it at that point. And here goes US 30 going down. And this was a better spot to buy it at right here at the Bollinger Band. That'd have been better. It could still go down. I mean, there's territory down here that it could really move to too. And there it is, moving towards that territory. Looks like the opening bell just happened. Let's see here. This is what we wanted. Oh, just wanted 4,000 right there. Yeah, that was way up here. I feel like it's going to go back down. It's super consolidated. I don't think it's just going to take off and rocket ship up here. I think, get out already. I got out at this top right here. And let's see what happens here. I'm thinking this is going to come back down. Then we can get in again down here somewhere. Probably even a better trade would be to get in like down here. Let's see what gold is doing. See, yeah, gold. That's why I didn't want to kind of get in right in the beginning of gold because I thought it was going to throw some red out a little bit on the opening bell because it needs power to go down so it can keep on going back up. Now it doesn't know what it wants to do. SPX. Now let's see. We gotta wait for that puppy to come back down. But let's go here. Let's look at the hour. So what do we got? We got the biggest company losing a little bit of steam. And then nothing from nowhere else. Let's look at the 100. Ooh, the 100's red. Only thing as good as those Apple phones. Yeah, this looks red. US 30. This is almost crossing out each other. And nothing's really lighting up the stage. So let's just see what's going to happen. Should we have stayed in this trade to a win up here? No, we got out right here. There's no territory up there. So that's where it can come back down. That's why it's like fidgeting right now at the resistance line. It's saying, where should I go? It wants to go back down. But we got a good trade in that one. That was great. If it can come back down, we want to grab another one going up like that. We should have enough time to do that. Gold. It's good we didn't take a gold trade. Let's go to Telegram. Let's see the latest and greatest calls of the bot. The bot's been really hammering out. Yesterday or for last week, the last 7 days, it only takes gold trades at the 1 hour, 4 hours a day. And it took 8 trades and only lost 2. So my son, when I told my son, he was like, that's 75%, Dad. Son is smart. Let's see here. $6.30. GBP USD to buy. So it looks like USD is really weak. It keeps on telling us every way the USD is, it's telling us to go the other way. So we might need to look into that. We haven't got any really calls on the other bot. Let's look into why everything's telling us to sell that. Well, this is still going down. Huh. Let's see the strength here. This trade right here is, why is it not showing us? Or is that $1? Oh, it's at 100. Huh. I can barely see this. So I don't even know why it's doing that. That's pretty weird. We're running
Lonnie,
this, but I could barely even see it. It's at 230. It's going down. Uh-huh.
you should be able to move your cursor right near the number, and you should be able to drag that over. I think a little higher, where it says P&L. Yeah, to the right more.
This?
Somewhere there, you should be able to grab it and move it over. I had that too on one time, but I forgot where you have to drag it over.
It's closer to where it
There
says
it is.
up
Oh,
There it is.
there.
there. That was what, okay. Thank you. Thank you. We had to call in the big guns. Thank you, Jaime. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that was worked good. Okay, now we can see that it's winning, but man, I was like, no, I need to see it. All right. Man, it's calling this down. This might be a good trade to go down. USDJPY. USDJPY. That was at 6 to sell. And you see it was a 60-minute one. I kind of like this trade. It's at the Bollinger Band. Here goes the call. Yeah, I like this one. USDJPY. Sell USDJPY. JPY. Wow, it looked like Apple was the one that the US 30 took that big jump like that. It looks the same on Apple. That was earlier. Amazon. Let's see what we got here. Naveed started out so low.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, do something. Shit.
Nvidia. Wow, this market looks like it's gonna really. The US 30 looks like it's gonna go to the moon today. Everything that I'm looking at saying that. Let's see what Microsoft is saying. Same thing. Microsoft started out low also. Wonder why. Look at Walmart's move. Wow. This could look a whole different thing on this maps right now. Let's see. This is on the hour. Yeah, the Apple looks really good. Nvidia started out so low. That's why it's way down here, but this is actually in the green, which is more affecting what the US 30 is doing right now. Even though it looks red, this looks like a good market for US 30 to keep on going up. Let's go one more time. Wow, look at Walmart. Goodness gracious. Wait a minute. Why is Walmart? Oh, okay. Here's Walmart right here. Naveed. How far does Naveed have to go up for it even to be showing green on the? Oh, it's way down. That's why. It ended yesterday right here. So it started today $2 down. US 30 should be coming back down. This thing is super high. According to what's really going on in real life. SPX is starting to get big. But to think this is so high and it's not going to come back down, I wouldn't take a trade down from here either because this might try to go to new territory today. You know, this is what it was like. Yesterday was up higher. It just really stalled out. Well, that's at 8. Let's look at it from the hour perspective. This is actually a winner. Like if we would have bought this right here on the hour, our stop loss wouldn't have hit down here. We would have probably got out right here though. But man, it's going up. Time. Why does it feel like once again we're watching paint dry? Another Tuesday that's like not moving like a Tuesday for some reason. Trying to find something that's moving. Here goes Nvidia even going down further. JPY. Yeah, this is way at the top right here. This territory we're at. Gee, I still feel happy. We got in like right here and we got out right there. It's not even that big of a difference, but are we even going to be able to get into another trade going up? This thing is just rocket shipping out of here. I almost want to get into gold now, right where it's at. We're at 700 right here. GBPJPY. I like that 700 for GBPJPY, GBPJPY. Yeah, there's like a support right here where we're at. I mean, we could stay in this for the long day if we wanted to. It's 100% downtrend. It's in the super trend area. I mean, but I actually like 700. 800 is good. I didn't even expect that. So I'm gonna get out of 800 on that one. So I just got out of GBPJPY, $800. And we're in USDJPY, and we seen as soon as we got in, when the bot called that out, look at this thing going down, 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 down. We could stay in that too, but I'm ready to get out of this also. Ooh, I wanted that 200 level. 170 to 200 is. I'm not going to wait on this. All right. See what else we got going on. Ooh, this US 30. Look at Nas. This is like, usually when you pick one of these trades, US 30, Nas 100, and SPX 500, they're kind of doing a little bit of the same thing. This is not doing, this is a total go to the moon. This is a doji that shot out. I think SPX didn't know what is doji, or SPX is like a little bit of movement. I wonder why. I still don't understand like what really happened with this. The biggest thing is weak, so we can cross out Apple. And you would even have to cross out these right here, according to how strong Naveed is. If you see, Naveed is worth Apple, Han, Boeing, and Cisco all together. So this right here wipes out all this. And these aren't even 1.2 around it like this one is. So you could even throw in something else and wipe it out. And then nothing's nothing. So what made this so strong? It's almost deceiving. Like, and it's still moving up. That's why I was telling you guys. Remember, I was saying just because it goes outside the Bollinger Band, don't be a two-way trader, because we knew that this was going up. We said it was going up, so that was perfect. But some people will say, "Well, why didn't you take this one down?" Then no, heck no, because it looked like it was always going to go up, and we could have tried to take it down when, right here. Okay, we got out. Let's go. For it to go back down, look, we would have lost all our money. That's why we're not two-way traders. Two-way traders, they break even a lot. They don't win a lot. And it's almost like I want to. So this is a 99% downtrend. The Nas 100. US 30 was in consolidation. SPX is in a downtrend. So everything is going up. We would take this up right here, the Nas up, which is the only good trade out of the three. But it's moving so weird. One second, let's look and see. Can we watch anything on the news? Which is so weird. This happened already, but they're not even putting. Okay, here we go. Now we got one news thing going on. He's in Portugal talking. This person said, I don't know, but I hate. And this is what I was trying to tell you guys about this guy when he speaks. Look at what this is just a random, that can say anything. Nobody knows who this guy is. But I don't know why, but I hate this guy. He never told anything useful in any of his speeches. Replace him. So what is he really saying? As a trader, the guy before this guy, when he talked, he he would be more concrete. So if he says something good, it will go up. He says something bad. Every time this guy Powell says something that's good, he comes back and says something bad, like really quick. So the market can't like continuously move in the direction of what he's saying, which is 2025, and they finally figure that out, that this guy doesn't need to be, driving the market just from him talking. The guy before, his friends made a lot of money though, because he was just, look, I'm gonna say this and everything's gonna go up.
Canada, and we easily can. It really depends on what's going to happen on July 9th. We are actually.
They always have somebody
but we don't know what's
that
going to happen.
is speaking.
But for example, like if the
asking them questions and
the
stuff.
tariff goes back to 26% retaliatory tariff that was
Here.
announced in April 2nd, and then also with a lot of sectoral tariff which affect our economy, aluminum, steel, and cars, we can easily say that it has an impact larger than close to 1% in our GDP growth rate. And depending on how long it lasts, I think we have to adjust to the new supply chain, so the impact will be larger. So, but I hope that scenario won't come.
What is the most concern for the Bank of Korea? Is it a stalling South Korea exports, slowdown in global trade, or a downturn in the U.S. economy?
It's all linked, right? It's all linked, right? So it's a global economy slowdown. And one thing I mentioned.
So
some
Powell is in the middle.
Only, but one positive side, I don't know if it's positive or not, but Korean companies has been preparing for the supply diversification long time ago before the tariff, U.S. tariffs started to, because we have some issues with China.
Yep, Nas went up like we
Chinese
just thought.
industry has become very competitive. So
Yeah,
we
let's
had
get
to
out of here
relocate
at 600.
Our, production site from China to elsewhere. So relatively speaking, we are well prepared. And second, still good thing is that we have some strong industry such as semiconductor, which benefit from the AI.
There's no way anybody could have
technology
lost today.
development.
Everything that we
I
picked
hope that
worked
we can manage
perfect.
it. But on the other hand, given the we look at the
Jeez,
sheer
look at
size
this
of the
US
export
30.
dependence,
Wow.
we will be significantly affected.
Governor Bailey, do you think interest rates will be closer to 3 or 4% at the end of the easing
Wow.
cycle, given all of the inflation and trade dynamics?
That's a subtle way into the R-style question, actually. I would
News is
detect.
probably really good.
So look, I'm fairly cautious about the whole discussion of the level of R-star, and therefore
You don't want to get
where
in that
it's
trade
gonna
right
reach
now. It might
in the
pull back
cycle.
really fast.
There is huge uncertainty around it. What I think is important.
Okay, let's see if
and what
anything
we spend our
happens
time
for
looking at
sell
is how restrictive is
GBPJPY.
policy, both now and going forwards. And our staff do a huge amount of work on that front to judge the restrictiveness of policy in the current
Yeah, everything is
context.
against the
And
USD.
how it's how restrictive it's going to be looking
USD.
forwards if you project forward.
That's
with the
why
market
these are
curve.
going up so
And the
fast.
assessment we've got
So
made is that
US 30,
policy remains restrictive. It will continue
Nas,
to be restrictive. Although the level of restrictiveness
SPX
will
are
come
the
down,
companies of
over
America
time,
going
is what I
versus
would
the dollar.
expect.
So
And
companies
I
of
would
America
expect that level of
are just
restrictiveness
beating
to
the
come
dollar
down
up
to a
right
point
now.
where it goes more
And then
neutral.
everywhere you
So I
look,
think you have to judge that in
the
context.
dollar is losing.
Just to give you an example of that.
There
in
goes
the
a
UK
sell right
economy,
here.
The level of household and corporate debt in the UK economy is actually lower than we would have expected it to be.
This
based on
market is
past
weird.
experience.
This
So
market is
again,
kind of
that
weird
feeds
because
through into just
I
how
think why
restrictive
this market
policy
is so
at a given
weird right
interest
now
rate.
is
It's
because we're
somewhat
on
less
a news
restrictive
event
probably
market.
than
Like
it would
we're
have been historically.
trying to trade when the
Could I
news
ask
is
all of you
actually
actually thoughts on
happening.
the
That's
neutral
what we're
rates?
watching live.
Chair Powell.
Thoughts on the neutral rate? So I think
There he
there are
goes.
countless empirical and theoretical ways to derive it. At the end of the
That's
day,
so smart.
I think I like to look at the economy and ask whether our policy stance is having the effects we expect and want on the economy. And to me, I would say we're somewhere probably modestly restrictive at this level. And by some formulations, we're more restrictive than that. But if you look at the economy, growth has been solid. The labor market is solid and still at historically low levels of unemployment. It's not an economy that feels like it's suffering from very tight monetary policy, but I would say that policy is still restrictive.
President Lagarde?
Yeah, right there. Let's see what
That,
happened when he said
it's a
restrictive
nice
like that,
concept.
because that
It's interesting, and many of the terribly talented and brilliant economists
that could
in
have
this
made
room
stuff go down.
actually are
Nah,
delighted
everything's
with
going up.
discussion about the neutral rate. But honestly, as we're getting closer to
this is
the
just-
target and to where we should
This is
be,
a market to where
or where we should be.
it is what it
Pass
is
judgment
type of
on that. I
market.
think that discussion becomes less relevant. I think what our staff at the ECB measures is
5,000.
leads us to believe that it
It's
is
crazy.
higher than where it was before the great financial crisis, but it's relatively low as well, compared, for instance, with what the US neutral rate is at the moment. But it's,
I need a bot to shoot
in a way, it's a bit
trade
of an
for
illusion to
us.
discuss that at the moment, because the neutral rate is normally defined in a world where there is no shock, where you have perfect equilibrium. Now, are we in a world with no shocks at the moment? I don't think so. So it's nice to have as a concept, nice to.
This is how
report on
bad
it,
the
nice
trading
to do
is right
research on
now.
it, but to use it at the moment where we
The
are.
bot
as a
hasn't
guiding
shot out a
principle to
trade
where we
since
should be,
5:30.
I don't think is particularly appropriate.
Is that?
Well,
Can
that's
somebody
what
look
continues
at the
what I was
bot?
saying earlier. Again,
and
I
see
don't use it as a
if
sort of
theirs
guide
is
to
refreshed
where
at
policy should
5:30, has
be.
any trade came out since
But I think
5:30?
this whole concept of restrictiveness is, of course, critical to our judgment, because that's critical to the transmission mechanism of policy, which we have to judge every time we meet. So that's a judgment that, in a sense, we renew every meeting we have. I think I'd rather agree with what Jay was just saying. I think in our case, policy is restrictive at the moment. It's going to become less restrictive based on the curve that we've got in the market. That's what I would expect. We will judge it each time.
Governor Ree? Similar?
I have nothing to add.
Yeah, how would you see it, Governor Yue?
Odd USD. Let's see odd
Yes, so
USD. Odd
we
USD
also
to buy
estimate,
might be a good one.
Something like the neutral rate.
Or
I
gold
got-
might
I
be.
The range of estimates.
649 this morning.
At least,
GBPUSD.
we can say,
Yeah, but the other
current
one,
rate is below
the other
neutral.
bot, the one that
Oh, okay.
says trading
I
view
would refer
signals.
to what Jay said.
Is that the
a year
last
or
one you
two
got? Is
ago
at
in the
534?
Jackson Hole conference, which was like,
Mine was
This the-
649.
we are guided by
Yeah, this
our
is a
staff,
this
but
is a
under
different
cloudy sky.
signal. You should see two of them. So this is the Forex. It says
President Lagarde,
649 is the
can you talk
last
to us
one
about
on this
scenario
one.
and why this is, because of
GBP
the shocks,
USD, but on
actually,
this
the
one right
changes
here,
that are going very fast, why
it's only
scenarios
US 30
make more
is the
sense as a
last
template
trade
of
for
the
me.
economy.
Oh, okay. So this
Yeah,
is a
534.
largely debated as
Yeah,
part
it's just
of
a
the
bad. Okay, it's just a
strategy
bad
assessment
market.
that we conducted in the last.
This is what we
year.
wanted. We wanted
And
gold.
I
Remember, I
think,
said we wanted
you
gold
know,
to go
in
at
fairness,
like halfway
the
down
baseline,
or to
which
the
is,
Bollinger Band, and then we want to take it
essential,
going up.
projection
So
on
it's
which
already
we
going up.
work and we determine
Gold's going up.
policy stance
Yeah, this is what we
holds
wanted. We wanted
and
to go
is,
down first. and
decisive
It's already
in
going
our
up. I wish we could have
consideration.
caught it back
But at
here.
the same time, our staff has, I wouldn't say forever, but as long as I know myself, has always conducted scenario
I like to
analysis,
take gold.
sensitivity
I'm gonna take
analysis
gold up right
in
here,
order to
actually.
arrive at the most solid
I wanted to get it.
baseline.
So I'm gonna
It
buy
is
gold.
probably the case that we will do more of it, more systematically, that we might publish more often than we have. We have published, I think, in the last few years, in four circumstances, we have published scenario analysis. The invasion of Ukraine was one, COVID was one, the oil crisis as well, and the tariff threats. So all those were exogenous factors that were sort of hitting our screens. I think we might do more scenario analysis that will be looking at the longer term trends that will affect our economy, and that will inform and strengthen our baseline, enhance it probably in its reliability. So that's what we are debating at the moment, how this is built, what assumptions we make, what choices are decided in terms of publishing will be determined by the governing council.
Started
on
off
good
down
intelligence with that
$400.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and Jay Powell, on scenarios?
So for many years, we have used scenario analysis internally, and I personally find it very useful. I think many of my colleagues do too. You have just many different kinds of scenarios. We have 6 or 7 at every FOMC meeting. They're often the topic of discussion among governors and at the meeting. We have not taken the step of using them as a public communications device, and that's a big difference. So that's one of the things we're going to be talking about this fall. We will wrap up the first part of our framework review, which is the consensus statement, our monetary policy framework. We expect to by the end of the summer. And then we're going to use the fall meetings to look at communications ideas, and that's one of the ones we'll look at. I will say it has a lot of appeal and a lot of questions, and so my expectation is if we're going to do something in that area, it's going to be putting a toe in the water and not just throwing ourselves in, over Niagara Falls on it. So I can imagine a situation where we would try that in a particular circumstance, but for us, we're just going to do the work and understand it.
Man, my friends called me up yesterday. They should be joining this academy, but they said
In our case,
real
we
estate
use the
is
scenario
horrible right
analysis
now.
in our risk management
And they're in
section
like a hot
as
place.
as a kind of
Las
representing
Vegas.
the tail risk.
Real estate is not doing
But
good.
I have to
for
read the
them.
ECB report, but if we have to move that section into the more forecasting section for public communication, I wonder whether it's going to be easy to get some consensus, which scenario we have to do it among our probably members in the monetary policy meeting. So because that scenario and the underlying assumption may be much harder to communicate, to agree among the members. And also, it's specific to us, but how I can differentiate the previous approach of risk management section to the forecasting that I have to think over what we have to do.
So I think 2 things I would add, and it's very much in the same spirit as colleagues. One, we introduced 2 scenarios in the May round and in the May report. For me, they were very useful. They were either on either side. They weren't symmetric, by the way, but they were on either side. For me, they were very useful in terms of my decision making because they helped me to answer the question, given the uncertainty. If I'm wrong in my judgment, how wrong am I going to be?
Okay, the other news is coming out right now.
The
That's why the market
consequences
started
of
moving
that?
like this.
And,
Let's see here.
what would we then have to do to deal with them? I mean, is it manageable? And that was helpful. And then I think the question.
Well, sometimes I get bored when them people start talking. I said, oof. All right, here we go. The jobs reports came out as good news. Let's see. Let's go to the gold. Less than is good, so we're doing bad. Yeah, it says less is good, and it happened to be higher. Yeah, we're trading in the news time. Should have probably avoided trading during this time. Let's see where we're at. 4. Do you guys see this right here? Look at this. Let me show you guys this. All right, right here, this red, it's red right here. 7.77. It says actual less than forecast is good for the precious metals. So they forecasted 7.3 as 7.7. Now look at this. If we go to the other one, if we go to Forex Factory, is what do we see as green? And what does it say? It says actual greater than forecast is good for the currency, for the USD. So basically, it's good for USD, it's bad for gold. And that's why it went down a little bit on that second candle. It was going straight up. We could see it kind of hit a support and it was going up. And then now it's like stalling out because of that news. I kind of just wanted to go back to where we got in at. Just a really weird day where, we're trading on two news events. We start out trading and it's just two news events together, which is kind of weird. I didn't really worry about making money on this trade. Just we got caught in some news events. Yeah, we got caught in some news events, you guys. Everybody should have got out right there, get your money. I wouldn't. I mean, you could try to stay in and get some money right here. I wouldn't do it. It's just two news events on at the same time. This market is very confused. It's just, I'm glad you guys are on here trading with me because this could have went really bad if you guys are trading by yourself right now at this time. I mean, this is just a bad market. We won $6,700 on, like, this is probably the worst market that, let me see if Pablo's on here. Yeah. Everybody that's on right now, this is like the worst market that anybody that's been on a call with me been on. I mean, that was just a news event right when the bell hit, and then a news event a half an hour later. It was horrible. It was a horrible market. Yeah, it's still going up this gold because we had gold going up for the day, but we don't even want to be in that trade right now. Trust me, it's just too much going on. 6,700. We took 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. We won them all. 6,700. Let's just mark this off as another beautiful, blessed day by God, because this could have really went the wrong way. This could have really went the wrong way. And yeah, we're not even close to our goal today, 6,700, but 6,700 is better than losing in a day that's just really what they call wonky. 2.4%. It is what it is. 2.4. And that's crazy how like a bad day for us is 2.4 wins. We could have stayed in. But man, 2.4. All right, you guys. See you guys tomorrow. God bless everybody. Everybody had to win if you just took the same exact trade as me. And that's what I love about trading. You're just looking over my shoulder and winning with me. So God bless, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Oh, and I need you guys to I'm gonna put the link in again. I got 4 people that did the Google form sheet, and I want to go in front of Congress and the Senate. And I have a doctor that's part of this with me. And he loved the report. Everything got accepted. This is a capstone type of paper on action research. But what I want to do is get K through 12. I want to get entrepreneur classes. And I want to get financial literacy. So people are getting terms that are going to help them out with, you know, doing business plans, uh, understanding interest and understanding, you know, how to buy property, understanding things like that. Because they don't really teach you that through K through 12. It's specialty classes in college. And then also I want them to understand about entrepreneur. Because I used to not like it when the teachers used to say, my kids were so smart, they're going to get a good job when they get older. And I used to say, no, I'm a business owner. They're going to own their own business. Like, don't tell my kid. I was a funny parent. I loved all the teachers. But, you know, I want kids to have the option to own stuff instead of just, you know, being forced to be in a good job. And if everybody did it right now that's on here, we would be able to. I need 4 more people to do it that haven't did it. Please, I'm gonna send it back into the WhatsApp. It only takes you like a half an hour. Take your time on it. If it takes you more than a half an hour, don't worry. It will save, like, and you just keep on coming back to it. But I need that because I have to come up with the research this week. And I have to turn it in by Sunday. And I got 4 people that did it so far. It doesn't even really have your name or anything. It's just connected to like an email, and none of the stuff will be like against you guys. I don't even know who are the people that are sending it, but I just get like demographics and stuff like that. But so it's very unintrusive, and you guys can read about that. I was gonna send out a consent form, but it's not even needed because I'm not taking names and anything. So hopefully you guys will do that. I'll send it in the WhatsApp one more time. Love you guys. Have a good day. We had a really weird day because of the 2 news events. Tomorrow is going to be amazing again. God bless. Bye-bye.